Morning. Long time no see, but I just feel inspired to get on here today. And my inspiration was not the most positive, but hey, whatever it takes, right? To pull you out of your hermit mode. So today I wanted to demonstrate just really briefly how I use tarot to work with astrology. So as an astrologer, the biggest problem that you have is the birthday, right? So if you're an astrologer, you're basing everything around this exact time that this person was born. The problem is that obviously sometimes people don't know. Sometimes their parents has passed. Sometimes they're whatever the situation. There's all kinds of situations. And then also people are just straight up liars, especially when it comes to celebrities. So what I've decided to do, today I was reading on the Twitter TL that today is Drake's birthday. And I don't think I've looked at his chart. I don't know when the last time I saw his chart was. I don't really look at his chart. But I do know that he's supposedly a Scorpio, because today is like the second day of Scorpio season. And then he's also supposed to have a Cancer moon. Now that's the thing that makes me go, you got a Cancer moon? Because you don't act like you have a Cancer moon. The way you act towards women is actually very trifling. And they say that Cancer moon has will have a lot of mother issues, but I don't think I just don't believe that he has a Cancer moon. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use tarot, success always, to really verify his birthday. So the first question I'm going to ask Tarot. I'm gonna ask it to myself, so because y'all don't need to know my little prayer, but I will say the question out loud. Is Drake born on October 24th, 1986? Is that his actual birthday? Oh, so this is usually, I would take this usually as an indicator of yes, but you see that the high priestess is not really about revealing the whole truth. And so now I see that he may think that his birthday is today, but his mother may not have told him the truth. So I'll have to look at a follow-up card to see if it's really his birthday or his mother lied. And she lied. Surprise, surprise. A white woman lying. So, white woman lying, today is not actually Drake's birthday. Or she lied for him. Who cares? I don't care. Anyway, so now I'm going to go into what is Drake's actual birthday? Oh. Okay. All right. So, oh, right. So I'm still on camera. So, I asked Spirit, what month is Drake actually born on? So we see this here, and we see that this is the number 17. Okay, so obviously there's no 17th month, right? So what we're going to do, what my intuition tells me, it's 12. So then we're looking for the 5th month. So that's January, February, March, April, May. All right. So, let me see though. Okay. And this is my second card, which lets me know that's the answer. Because it has no numeral value. That's just how I use it. Okay, so he's born May. Okay, so let's see the date. What day? So now we're looking for the day. So this is the first one. So it's a Queen of Swords. I could look at this as a 1, but I'll have to see what else comes up. So we have a 10 here. And the way I understand if I'm stopped is by the cards that come after it. So we have a 10. We have an 8. We have a 4. And then we have nothing, right? So we begin with the Queen of Swords reversed and we end with the Page of Swords reversed, which means that that's the end. That's the birthday. So 10 plus 18, 10 plus 8 is 18, plus 4 is the 22nd. So we're looking at a date of May 22nd. And then let's see what year. Because you know she lied about the damn year, too. I mean, she looked like a liar. Don't she look like a liar? She looked like a little psycho liar. Anyway, let me not talk about people's mamas. You're right. It's a fucking pandemic. I'm going to talk about whoever the fuck I want. His mama looks like a little... And by the looks of it, she was consulting with somebody. Some whack-ass magician. Good luck, Drake. The magicians are about to... bite the dust. Bite the dust. Bite the dust. Hey, don't work no more. Bite the dust. Bite the dust. All right, so let's see. What year? We know he was born in, I know he was born in 19-something, Spirit. Because sometimes Spirit gives me, and I got to do a lot of math. I just need to know the last two. The last two numbers. It's 19 what? Spirit. Because at this point, Drake, he could be any age. He's a funny looking ass. Yeah. So he could be any age. Like, this nigga could be 40. We wouldn't know. He could be 45. We wouldn't know. He could actually also be 31. Like, nobody knows how old this. He's gonna be older because that face. Oof. Especially before the surgeries. Come on, son. You know you're not attractive. Your mama, she's ugly too. Why do I keep talking about Drake's mama? I don't really like white women. So, anyway, moving on. Forward. Okay, what year was he born, Spirit? And all brothers. Let's see. Okay. So it looks like the first card here, this is a special card with my deck, is the full moon card. So what it looks like is that he was born on the full moon during that year. So he has a Scorpio moon, okay? Because Taurus, the opposite of Taurus, Scorpio, that's when the moon is full, okay? Girl, this is a new moon. So he was born during a Taurus moon. So what we're looking at is we're looking for the year where on May 22nd, the moon was also in Taurus, all right? So let's keep it moving. Okay? So we're getting 13. All right? 6. and then this is done. So see, that's what I'm talking about. This is 13 plus 6 is 19, right? So Spirit is giving me, as I said, don't give me the 19 whatever, but that's what Spirit does. It's very detailed. Okay, so 19. So we got the 19. Okay. So we have an 11. My Queen Justice. An 11, an 8. Another 19. So we had 19. Look at this. 19 plus 19. I don't know. This is why I don't like doing the year, because the year be getting on my nerves. Should I still? Let me actually ask. Okay, let me finish pulling these. Because 19 plus 19. Okay, we got 7. Okay. Okay. Ugh. Okay, so I'm getting 19. It's getting a lot confusing. But I think 8 plus 10. So I really don't like it when it comes to this. 8 plus 10 plus what? What is this? 8 plus 10 plus 19. See? 8 plus 10 plus 19. All right, plus 3. So, I mean, the only way I'm going to know is when it comes down to the bottom. When the cards stop showing numbers. 5. 5. Okay, Queen. So we stopped at the numbers. So let's see, what the heck is this? Math. Oh my gosh. This is not, see, this is why it's getting too big. I feel like he was actually born in the year 1986. But what I'm going to do, because this gets really overwhelming with this year end thing, is I'm going to ask Spirit first if he was actually born in 1986. And let me just make it simpler on myself. Let me shuffle these cards since they've been a little all over the place. Yeah. So I asked Spirit, was Drake actually born in 1986? I'm getting an affirmation. 1 plus 1 equals 3, right? Like a baby, mother, father, sex, child. Okay. So we're getting 1986, but we're getting May 22nd, 1986. So what we'll be able to do to confirm and reaffirm, I come from an accounting background, so we always check and double check, all right? Even with my divination, right? I don't really play with divination, and Spirit don't play with me either. So what I will do is I will go now look up this chart for May 22nd, 1986, and I will see if he indeed is, if that's the Taurus new moon. Because that will be the indicator, because that's what was indicating the beginning of the drawing, right? So the other thing I want to do, obviously the other part of this is time, right? So timing is really important. for an astrologer. And I use this all the time because people lie. I don't want to just say people lie. People don't know the time they're born. All right, they just don't know what time they're born. And if you're too old, or you're born in the wrong place, or your mom was just a liar, people don't know what time they were born. So, again, we go back to tarot. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so okay, so the first card is the Page of Pentacles, which is him, Taurus. So we're on the right path. So time. So whenever I do a time reading and I see that it's upside down, the first card, it means that this is in the afternoon. So this is PM. So he was born at 8. So obviously 8, there's not a 9, right? We don't have a 9 in our timing. So I might see what that is. So it might be a situation where it's 8 plus 9, which is 17. And then the 17th hour, 12, is 5. He's getting a lot of 17 energy. So, and we'll go, so now this card is reversed again. So we'll say that this starts a new pattern. Or let's see, he could have been 8. Five, 6, so I'm looking at a time around, yeah, and then we finish with another Knight of Pentacles, right? Again, the Taurus energy, Pentacles. So I'm thinking, I'm looking at a time that is around 6:02 p.m. That's what I'm getting. So that's what his new birthday is. So now what I will do is I will go and look up the chart. So give me 1 second and I'm going to look up the chart. Okay, so we're back. I got the chart up for the birthday that was divine, which was May. So it's Thursday, May 22nd, 1986 at 6:02 p.m. That's the time that was divined. And the way that I know, so again, like I said, I'm always checking, right? So we talked about the new moon. Look at this. It was actually just a full moon. It wasn't a new moon. And then the other way is that, this is the way that I really know though, is that when I pull up the chart and I pull up the transits, because I always feel like divine to do this, right? I'm never like sitting down. I don't have like a schedule book like today I'm going to look up Drake's birthday. Tomorrow I'm going to look up somebody else's birthday. Like I don't have a schedule, right? It's all like intuition, intuitively done. But intuitively, when I pull up the chart, it's interesting because the Mercury is always conjunct the moon, or the moon is conjunct the Mercury, meaning that there's being communication in the stars right now. So I'm going to show you this real quick so you astro heads can sort of, I don't know if you can, oh, okay. So you guys can just like pause on this picture and see what Drake's little dirty birthday is. So that's his chart for the new divine birthday. Okay? So what we're coming up with is that he's actually a Gemini. May 22nd is Gemini. So he's a first degree Gemini, born on the first day. I was thinking Taurus. Um, what am I thinking? Yeah, he's a Gemini, born on the first day, Gemini. And I'm getting that he's a Gemini, not almost, well, he has almost a stellium. He has Gemini, and his Mercury is conjunct Gemini in the eighth house, okay? Um, Moon, where everybody's like, oh, he's so emotional, he must be a Cancer moon. But the way that he's towards women is not in a Cancer type of way, it's actually an asshole type of way. So his moon on this thing is a Scorpio moon. So he has a Scorpio energy, but he has it in the moon, and he has it in his first house. And so and he actually has Pluto retrograde in the Scorpio moon, loose conjunction, but it doesn't matter because those two in the first house are intense anyway. So we have this is sort of his heart on the sleeve. I mean, the moon, anything in the first house is just super, it's intensified. Like, we don't really talk enough about the first house and the seventh house, I feel like, but or maybe how intense they are, or how the planets really change in their interaction. We usually refer to it as the axes, but there's something different. Like the strength of the energy in the first house as compared to even the fourth or the 10th house, it doesn't compare. The strength of any planets in that first house is such a prominent part of your who you are, right? So, but we get this eighth energy, this eighth house energy. So he has this moon in the first, he has the sun in the eighth. Again, this sort of helps me to see how he's always sort of filtering in these other nationalities, these other cultures, and stealing their stuff, stealing their music, stealing their classic songs, and then recreating them, and he's a star. So he's really taking the genius of other people, putting a little twist on it. Who knows if he's even twisting it, writing some words, and calling himself, the best there ever was. That's how you know this world's fucked up. Oh. So I lost my point, but that speaks to the whole thing. Moon in the first, sun in the eighth. You're not going to know who you are. There's a huge part of him who can't even see himself. And he really, he hears a lot of inspiration. So that could be the other thing. He's very sensitive. So when he goes to these other countries, when he goes to Jamaica, when he goes to Africa, wherever he has been, where he goes, he's actually influenced because he's around the energy. So he's sort of this type of person where, because he's so energetically sensitive and receptive, it's like he can just sit in a place and he'll receive downloads after downloads after downloads after downloads. He'll receive music lyrics, he'll receive inspiration, everywhere he goes he hears music. So there is this, although he really does copy people, I don't think that he thinks that he's copying them. I think that how he feels about. Okay, so now that we have all of this information and this new chart, the way to test it now comes when life events. So one prominent point in this chart is the North Node is at 29 degrees Aries. And that's right conjunct his descendant, right? Remember, first and seventh house, really important in astrology. He has no planets in his seventh house, but he has that North Node right there. So, and with Mars going retrograde and then coming back and moving towards Taurus come 2020. So in February 2020, Taurus and Uranus meet up, and this is going to be huge. In February, Aquarius season, it's going to be whatever. So what we're going to see is that he might have a surprise marriage. He might have I mean, I would have to look at the chart more closely as it gets to the descendant. But he might have a surprise marriage coming up in 2021. And so that is one of the ways that I can really test out if he is, if this chart is true, if this new chart that I have co-created or recreated or been informed of with spirit is actually accurate. I can check it by the events that happen from here on out. The other thing about this is, and what I say about these divine charts that I do, is that sometimes it's not really about the date that they were born. It's about the information that you need to gain, if you know what I mean. So I didn't ask in this specific one. I really asked for accuracy in regards to Drake's chart. But sometimes, especially if I know that the birthday day is correct, but the time is unknown, I will ask Spirit, show me the best time for me to pull out the information that I need for this client. So it's less about, oh, were they exactly born at 3:02, and it's more about Spirit, with you working with me, and you know how I work, you know how my mind works, you know how I'm activated. Show me the chart that will show me the best way to assist this client. So I'm not sure if those are, we're never 100% sure with this stuff, but that's the power of divination. Like, you're not supposed to be 100% sure. You're not really supposed to be 100% sure about anything. But the one thing that I do know is he's a liar and his mom's a liar. That's what the cards show me. So, not like liar, but they lying about the day. The other thing is he has Mars in the third house and he has Capricorn in the third house. And what's interesting is that we haven't really heard a lot from him. Like, this is the type of person who usually says too much, for lack of a better word. But he has this Mars. But as you can see with Capricorn this year, they've all been running over his Mars. Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter. They have been exactly, he has Mars at 21 degrees, which is funny because I think that's my south node. His Mars is on my south node, which also helps me to understand why I'm even interacting with this chart in that way. Because my south node's in my 7th house. Again, 1st and 7th. Super important. So I would say that part of the reason why we haven't seen any music for him is because he's going through a lot of shit. He might be going through court processes. He's going through a heavy emotional period because all of this energy is sextile his moon. His mother could also be not doing well at this time. And we could hear Mercury is currently in retrograde in his first house, but we could hear soon when it goes back direct that there's news that his mother is not feeling well. He also has Jupiter in Pisces, of course, super strong Jupiter, super strong energy, and Neptune is actually conjunct that. So the other thing about what he's feeling, there's all these things going on for him with that Capricorn stellium in the 3rd house. But with that Pisces, Jupiter, and the moon, they're trying each other. Jupiter's trying his moon in the 1st house. 5th house, 1st house trying another beautiful thing, another beautiful energy. And Neptune is conjunct his Jupiter right now. So he can be overwhelmed by the creative energy that he is getting. Or quarantine because Mercury and Neptune is retrograde. Quarantine because, like I said, he's like a sponge. He can just sit in a culture. He can sit in a coffee shop. He can sit in a new city and absorb the energy of the city. He could also be, because he's homebound, because of Corona, because his engagements are limited, he could also feel just stumped, just really stumped creatively right now. And especially Mars in retrograde too. So I just think that as we get into, I see if this chart is true, 2 things. will help me to understand if this chart, if this divination. I mean, I have no doubt, because I mean, who gonna check spirit? But I'm just saying, a way to confirm, a way to reaffirm, a way to sort of strengthen your divination is, I should hear an announcement from Drake within, by the time December comes, about his mother. Plain and simple. If I hear this, I know this chart's correct. I should also see a surprise relationship, engagement, or he kills the bitch. One of the three. Come February, March of 2021. All right. So this is my video of Drake's real birthday. It's 30 minutes. I hope you guys have stuck with it. I love doing this work, and I mean, there's nothing more to say. All right. Well, have a good day. I don't know. I don't really care if you share or like this video, but peace. Look at my nails. Blank bitches.